Mysterious Mrs. A. Chapter 8. Leelavati. I told my wife about my visit to the ashram and my conversation with Swamiji. I told her about the complex nature of the scandal and how it looked like they had trapped Swamiji into the entire incident. I narrated how Swamiji had taken it all philosophically and had compared the incident with what happened to sage Vishwamitra. I also told her about his request to visit his family and hand over some money to them, and how Swamiji suggested that she too should go with me. It excited my wife. She was happy that Swamiji remembered her and was so nice to send her to meet his wife and children. Obviously, she was thrilled that we would be close to Swamiji and his family, and this gave her the opportunity to share tales with other devotees and make them feel jealous. I met Swamiji after 2 days as he had suggested. He was not there, but Pyare Mohan was. Swamiji had left instructions with him to attend to me and give me the money and further instructions. Bhai Rajesh ji, he said beaming at me. मैंने ठीक कहा था ना? You are Swamiji's favorite bhai. See how he has given you this special task? Here, the money is in this bag, he said, handing over a fairly thick and big duffel bag to me. It weighed, and I wondered how much money was in it. Here are the tickets for you and your wife, and keep this money for expenses. Pyaraji, this is unnecessary, I said, handing him back the money envelope. I will manage. No, Rajeshji, please take it. It is Swamiji's wish. Well, if he says so. Any other instructions? Rajeshji, please do not feel offended, but he has asked you not to talk to her much about the details of the case. If she had seen the TV and read about it, okay. But please do not discuss what will happen or not happen. She is not to be disturbed by speculations. And please tell her that he could not arrange for all the money she asked for. I nodded my head and prepared to leave, when he added, Rajeshji, one more favor Swamiji wanted. If you can, find out discreetly why she needs so much money. I know this is very delicate, but Swamiji would be pleased if you can find out. But do it with utmost discretion. And if you find that it is difficult, leave it. I could understand the worry. Why would a family of 3, tucked away in a remote village, require so much money? If I recall correctly, Swamiji had asked his family not to travel out of the village. Another issue worried me more than this domestic one. How am I going to carry the money back safely on the train? What if it were to be stolen? I have never seen so much money in my life. What to talk about carrying? Why did I have to get into Swamiji's personal affairs? My wife was right. I am mad. And when I show her the bag, she will go berserk. My uncalled for and stupid actions have now landed me in a big mess, and I cannot get out of it. My wife reacted as expected. What rubbish! How can we carry this treasure chest with us in public train, full of strangers, thieves and thugs? Have you heard about UP and Bihar? Are you mad? Being a follower is one thing, but you are taking your devotion too far. What does Swamiji think you are? His henchman who will do all his dirty work? Will you murder someone if he asks? And his wife? Is she some Maharani? What is she going to do with all this money? Buy a palace? I tell you, all this is very fishy. दाल में बहुत काला है. You are a fool to get into his personal life like this. Do you know he had forced his family to go away? You are a very simple man and follow him like his pet dog. पर वो स्वामी कोई दूध का दूल्हा नहीं है. He is a debauch. Yes, this lady Seema is not his first or last. I heard some old disciples of Mataji that he did something with some other girl in the Mehroli ashram, and it was all hushed up. Mataji said nothing, but she asked him to leave the ashram. I did not want to tell you all this, but it is too much now to bear. I will not come with you. You go alone. It stunned me. Sita was wild, and rightly so. But how the hell did she know about what Swami did there? Annabel also told me about it, but I found it hard to believe her. But coming from Sita is another thing. She had validated what Annabel told me. Sita, I am sorry. I never imagined that I would get into such a mess because of my curiosity. I cannot avoid this trip, but I promise there will be no further trips like this. I really want you to come with me. I need you to come. Please, just this once. She relented. We took the trip with a lot of suspicion and fear, but we reached the village safe and intact. It relieved me that all this would be over soon, and I vowed that I will stop going to the ashram from now on. No more investigation for me, I had enough. Leelavati opened the door and invited us. She looked a bit disturbed, but her behavior with us was very hospitable. We had something to eat and drink, took a bath, and then met at the hall in her house. I told her about Swamiji and the money. I told her that Swamiji was sorry that he could not manage more, but promised that he will send her the balance money soon. She did not seem to be so concerned about the money now. She seemed to be distracted and in a hurry perhaps to get rid of us. Sita must have noticed all this but remained silent. Finally, when I handed over the money back to Leelavati, she said, राजेश जी, अब क्या करूँगी पैसों का? I no longer need it now. Please take it back and give it to him. I had no clue about this fresh twist, and I looked at Sita despairingly. We were stuck with the money now, and had to ferry it back to Delhi. My problems only worsened. But why did she not need it now? What had happened? She owed me an explanation. क्या हुआ? Are you still angry with Swamiji? Please understand that he was in jail and he could not have done anything there. You also understand that arranging such a large amount is difficult for him. He does not have that much to spend as he is a mere trustee of the ashram. He also did not know why you required so much money. Please do not be angry with him. Rajesh ji, I am not angry with Swamiji and I understand his problems. I needed the money for a purpose that I did not want to disclose to him because he will prevent me from doing it. As for his obligations as a trustee, you hardly know the man. We have suffered so much because of him. We had to leave Delhi, sacrifice our lives so that he could become God. Millions of people flocked to him for solutions. But what solutions has he provided for us? He may be God for you, but not for me and my children. He has not once visited us or allowed us to visit Delhi. We cannot escape the prison here where he has put us. My children's lives are ruined. Now their father is also a rapist. Think how they feel about it. They cannot even tell their friends about their father. Leelavati broke down and was now crying. Sita put her hands around her and tried to console the lady. This was a dimension of Swamiji I never thought about. What was I supposed to say now in his defense? There was no defense for what he had done to his family just to get to where he is now. And what am I doing here? Carrying money and messages for a man who had abandoned his family. Leelavati ji, my wife was speaking to the lady softly. जो भी हुआ अच्छा नहीं हुआ. बहुत बुरा हुआ है बहन जी. I can understand your situation. But I suggest you keep the money with you for emergencies. You deserve to have at least this. I would have left my husband if he had done anything like this. पर आपने भी खूब निभाया. बहुत पेशेंट हैं आप. बहन, it is our fate that women have always to suffer, said Leelavati. I cannot even talk of this to anyone, let alone do anything. My life is ruined, but I want my children to be free. I tried my best, but even God seems unhappy with me. See how that man has escaped despite so much hue and cry and evidence. It was all too much for Sita and me to digest. We had come here to deliver money and a message, but this visit had turned everything upside down. Leelavati would have been happy if Swamiji had been found guilty and sentenced. At least, this is what I feel now. It upset her that he got away with the crime. But this is how life is, and not everything is under one's control. I left the two women to share their emotions in privacy and walked out onto the street, aimlessly wandering in a random direction. I had reached a marketplace, and it was bustling with activity at this hour. Fresh vegetables and fruits, grains of every variety, milk, and all that you associate with rural India were here, and it was a beautiful sight for my sore eyes. Talking of my eyes, I think I just now spotted a ghost. It could not be true, and perhaps my eyes were playing tricks on me. Maybe I was thinking about Swamiji's case too much and all the events that were unfolding rapidly. But how can this be true? A girl had just walked past me and I glanced at her. She was dressed in a sari, which she wore like how ladies in a UP village would wear. She drew no attention and I would have passed her as a villager, except for the fact that I had seen her pictures in the papers and on TV. She had been one of my preoccupations of late, and I could not but recognize her. It was Seema. Or was I hallucinating? I followed the lady, drawn by curiosity and with the sense of mystery taking over my other senses. I needed confirmation, and I could get it only if I followed her. What on earth was Seema doing here in this village? Was this a coincidence that she chose this village to hide from the police? The biggest and the most important piece in this puzzle was before me, and I had recognized her. She had no way to recognize me. I was just a layman wandering in the market. She did not look behind once, so she was not suspicious of anyone following her. Why? Delhi police were on the lookout for Seema and would have alerted the police of other states also, particularly UP, as Seema was born here. But I understood that even for the police, it was like searching for a needle in a haystack. Her scandal was a public affair, blown out of proportions on the media, and surely people of this village would have seen pictures of her on TV. What if someone recognized her and tipped the police? This is how absconding criminals always get caught. But Seema seemed carefree, for she had not tried hard to disguise herself. Yes, the pictures showed her in salwar kameez and jeans with short hair. Her hair I could not see, for she had covered her head with a sari, as local women do in these parts of India. Yes, had it not been for my eagle eyes, I would have missed her. Maybe being a trained journalist makes me a keen observer. Whatever it was, my journalistic juices were flowing fast and thick once again. I forgot about Leelavati and her problems. This was bigger than the biggest of the stories, and I would not miss out on this. Seema was walking fast towards a predetermined destination and the direction stumped me. She was walking towards the very house that I had left half an hour ago, Leelavati's house. Why? Was Seema going to confront Leelavati and take her hostage or kill her? Was this some weird revenge plan of hers? If so, Leelavati was in grave danger. Seema must be a desperate lady, and desperation makes people dangerous. She knew that her smart plan was over and exposed. There would be no money anymore for her. Her partners in crime had been caught and they had exposed her. It was only time before she would be arrested. Yes, she is desperate, and I have got to do something now to protect the poor and tormented lady who was unfortunately married to Swamiji. He had put his wife and children in grave danger and was sitting in Delhi distributing divine gifts to his disciples. I could not have visited her at a more opportune time. There was Mrs. A to reckon with, the mysterious Mrs. A, who only Seema knew and only she could identify. Did A send Seema here with another of her brilliant plans? We had reached the gates of the house by now, and I was trembling with fear and excitement and loads of confusion in my mind. What if Seema was carrying a gun to shoot Leelavati and the children? My wife was trapped inside and was in danger too. Seema would not leave any witness alive. What if she was planning to plant explosives in the house and run away into anonymity? Highly possible. This would send a strong and clear message to the man who was a rapist and who could have made her rich by a crore of rupees or more. Seema was finished, and she would now finish Swamiji before going down. I did not know what to do. I had never faced this situation in my life before, and my mind was not helping me with any suggestive action. It was fear that was swamping me all over my body. Seema rang the doorbell. She did not seem to be in any kind of hurry to plant explosives, and this confused me further. Why would someone planning to plant bombs ring the doorbell and expose her identity to the inmates? Seema did not seem worked up about the bombing, for she had not once looked over her shoulders to see whether anyone was following her. This was perplexing. Sita opened the door and my heart sank. I hoped against hope that Sita would recognize Seema and bang the door shut and raise the alarm. She did not. She was inquiring who the visitor was and passing on a verbal message to Leelavati about some woman from the village wanting to talk to her. Leelavati appeared at the door and on seeing Seema, she froze. She had recognized the woman who was blackmailing her husband, and she would now raise the alarm. I urged her silently, but frantically, to shout to attract the villagers, but she did nothing. She just froze, but only momentarily, and then hurriedly went inside the house with Seema following her. The stage, it seemed to me, was ready and set for a bloody showdown. Before Sita could close the door, she saw me waving madly at her from the gate. She ran to me and I said, Sita, we must leave at once. Run. What? What's the matter? Why are you frightened? That woman who just came in, she is Seema. You know the woman? Who's Seema and why don't I know her? Idiot. Seema, the girl who filed the case against Swamiji. Oh, that's Seema. But what is she doing here? I thought she was running away from the police. She is here to kill Leelavati and her children. We are in great danger and we must run now. Wait. How do you know that she will kill Leelavati and her children? Did you speak to her? No, but I know. Just run. But she did not have any gun or knife on her. I cannot understand why you are so afraid. Look, if she is actually here to kill the family, we must stop her from doing it, not run away. Come with me. She was an idiot. and she dragged me into the house, putting us in danger. Inside the house, Leelavati and Seema were arguing about something, and Sita interfered in a shrill voice. Seema, I know who you are and why you have come here. Please do not do it. Look, you should surrender to the police and let the law take its course. You cannot gain anything by killing Leelavati Ben and her children. Leelavati was surprised and stunned and looked at Seema and then at Sita. What's all this? Who will kill us and why? Who's Seema? Madam, I do not know who this lady is or what she is talking about. Why should I kill you? She is lying, Banji. Ask my husband. He knows the truth. She will kill you and the children. Please get away from her and call the police. Call your servants now, Banji, before she does something. अरे राजेश जी ये क्या हो रहा है? Please explain, shouted Leelavati at me. I was fumbling with words. How do I tell her about the killer when she was so close to us? Leelavati ji, I don't know if Seema is here to kill you and the children, but the very fact that she has come here proves that she has something dangerous in her mind. I think someone sent her to harm you and your family. Some lady called Mrs. A. Only Seema knows her, and she is the mastermind behind everything that happened to Swamiji. Rajesh ji, said Leelavati, you are not talking sense. I know this lady because she works at my house as a cook. She joined only a month ago. She came here to cook food for us and not to kill anyone. Please calm down. I did not know what to say. Have I made a terrible mistake somewhere? Was this not the woman I thought she was? Have I goofed up? I was looking positively silly and sheepish. Sita was staring at me with daggers in her eyes. She must have felt humiliated because of me. Benji, we are so sorry. Actually, my husband was frightened for you and your family. He has been obsessed with this case for a long time and feels that it is his responsibility to protect you and the children from any harm. I think he mistook this woman for the criminal. We are sorry. What is your real name, Ben? We apologize for shouting at you and calling you a killer. My name is Anamika. It's okay. I can understand. Madam, can you go to the kitchen now? The two ladies followed the cook to the kitchen, and I sat on the sofa with a thud. It blew me to pieces, and I had no face to hide. It was shameful of me to have jumped to conclusions and maligned an innocent woman. But how can two people look so strikingly similar? Anamika, I still maintain, looked like the replica of Seema, whose picture I can never forget. Anamika must be Seema's twin sister or something. Such similarities cannot exist because God has made everyone unique. Only people with same DNA can have similar features. If Anamika was not Seema, why did Leelavati freeze when she saw her at the door? Or did I just imagine that too? I cannot believe that I mistook Anamika for Seema. It just cannot be. Doesn't make sense. Even as my disturbed mind was tormenting me for my blunder, something struck me. Anamika was addressing Leelavati as Madam, which struck me as odd now. Why would a maid in a remote village address her employer as Madam? Madam was the word I had heard before in connection with something related to the case. The real Seema addressed Mrs. A as Madam. In the video I had seen, the video shot by the driver, where the conspirators were discussing plans and how to share the booty. This struck me odd. The police believed Mrs. A to be the chief conspirator, but they did not have her details or know who she was. Seema, however, called the mystery woman Madam, and Anamika here was addressing Leelavati as Madam. Could Leelavati be the mysterious Mrs. A? Plenty of sound reasons came to my mind. Her husband had ditched and abandoned her. She had the right motives to harm Swamiji. Yes, she could be the mystery lady, the chief conspirator, and Mrs. A. End of chapter 8. Hope you enjoyed this episode. Till the next episode, goodbye.